Well, if you wanted to play Castlevania, there's certainly a lot of ways to do it in 2023. Do you want to go down the list of all the different ways you can play Castlevania at this point?
Sure, and we are talking specifically about Castlevania Symphony of the Night, one of the most beloved in the Castlevania series. So it originally released on the PlayStation 1, then it was remade for the Saturn. However, for the PlayStation 1, there is a greatest hits version available as well. It's the black label versus the green label. There was a version of Symphony of the Night that was unlockable and included in the Dracula X Chronicles for the PlayStation Portable. For the Xbox 360, the original PlayStation 1 version was ported. And for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is playable in the Castlevania Requiem collection, which includes Castlevania Symphony of the Night as well as Castlevania Rondo of Blood. And then for all you iOS and Android users out there, you can download the game. Let's talk about some prices.
Please tell me how that is if you've played the iOS or Android port. I'm very curious.
So let's start with loose copies. So for the PlayStation 1, you could get a disc-only version of the game for about $50. That's on eBay prices. For the Sega Saturn, you could get it loose for $117. The PlayStation Portable, you could get it disc-only for $20. And let's leave the other ones out for a moment. Let's just stick with the physical versions. Okay. So to get it complete for the Japanese PlayStation 1 for about $50 or $99 for the US PlayStation 1. You want the greatest hits version, or I think the black label one. I think the black label one is $200 from what I was seeing, although you might be able to find it cheaper. Okay. I did a quick eBay search. If you want the Sega Saturn version complete, you're going to spend $219. It's pre-tax. If you want the PlayStation Portable version complete, you could spend about $40. Nice. If you're a shrink wrap like your game's graded, this one's for you. PlayStation 1, it will go for $252 new, graded $750, whatever that means. For the Sega Saturn, it is $373, graded out of $400. For the PlayStation Portable, you could get it shrink wrapped for $65. Now let's go into these download versions. For the Xbox 360 download, you're going to spend about $10. I think it's $9.99. I got it on my Xbox Series S as well. They'll let you download certain select 360 titles. That's one of them. For the PS4/PS5, the Requiem Collection is about $20.
On sale for $5 as of this recording.
Wow. Go up in time? Let's go up. Yeah, let's see. All right. And then for iOS and Android, I was reading $2.99.
Sick. What the fuck?
Yep. And that's $2.99. It's not $299. That would be a crazy download. $299 download.
Yeah.
Or be like saying give you 58 Yen worth or $58 worth. $299 worth of Castlevania, which you would be spending if you're getting some of these old versions.
Yeah.
So which one did you play?
I played the PS4, PS5 collection. Requiem.
I played the Xbox 360 version through to completion, and then I've owned the Requiem collection, and I've played a little bit of it, although I've never beaten it on that console. So yeah, go ahead. Speak to your experience with it first.
Well, I was just going to say the difference between them.
Yeah, go for it.
The PS1 is obviously the original. I wanted to talk about the Saturn one. In 1998, a port of Symphony of the Night was released in Japan for the Sega Saturn. Maria Renard is both a fully playable character as well as a boss fight, which is the one guess technically I played. Richter is available to play at the start of the game in this one. When playing the game as Alucard, a third hand is available, but only for stat-altering items like food and potions and not weaponry. Alucard can use exclusive items such as the Godspeed boots, which grant him the ability to run like Richter. New areas, the Cursed Prison and the Underground Garden, have new bosses. Has remixes of songs from previous Castlevania games. Unfortunately, loading is more frequent and takes longer in other versions. Because the Saturn has limited hardware transparency support, transparency effects such as the mists and the waterfall were replaced with dithering effects. There is some translucency in the boss fights, though. The graphics were stretched to fill the screen, causing some sprites to be distorted. The overall port of the Saturn's ports video is said, according to Igarashi, to be lower than the PlayStation version because it is a simple port handled by another team and was not programmed to take advantage of the Saturn's 2D capabilities. Igarashi was overall disappointed with the Saturn version, and he quoted, "I understand why fans who've never played the Saturn version would be interested in those features, but I really, really don't feel good about them. I couldn't put my name on that stuff and present it to Castlevania fans." So the version that I played, I believe, is essentially the PS1 version with some of the Saturn stuff added to it.
This is the PSP version.
Which
basically is, yeah. But yours also has substituted dialogue and voice acting.
Yes. So if you wanted some of the classic things that they said in the original, they weren't in it. Like the famous pixel lines, like what is something but like a bunch
of...
a
man.
Yeah, what is a man?
Yeah.
That's not in it. So like that stuff is removed, which is probably a little disappointing because yes, it's dumb and cheesy, but it's part
all you Xbox owners out there do get that version.
There you go.
So hey,
the Xbox version is basically the original PSX release, right?
Yeah, except it's just these are all problematic. This fraction of the screen with like a Alucard Dracula family wallpaper in the back is very bizarre, and you could stretch the screen like to make it like look bigger, but it never looks perfect. The good thing is I didn't even, after a while, it just kind of like it goes in the background. You don't really notice it.
Yeah.
And I had a great time playing the 360 version.
Nice. So pick your version. Don't, as long as it's not the Saturn one.